Do you ever feel like you have a bunch of vices? Maybe it's those addictions, maybe it's like smoking, drinking, watching things on the internet, doom scrolling, whatever it is, and you just feel unable to control yourself to it. And then you think, maybe if I just disciplined myself harder or worked harder, I could like re-pattern and retrain myself to be a different way. And so, while that approach does work to some success with some people, I find one of the keys to it is to acknowledge that the reason why we take on addictive behavior is to change the way we feel using an external thing. And so if we're using whatever external thing to change how we feel, we can become codependent on that thing. And that could be a person, it could be some sort of vice, it could be some sort of substance, whatever it is, even technology. And so the idea then is that when we're doing that, there's really some sort of an inner wound inside. And when there's an inner wound inside and we're not addressing the main root cause of that inner wound, it starts expressing as lashing out or lashing in and actions to soothe it temporarily. Because what causes the real solution is to get to the heart of the wound and transform it. And so typically you can look at yourself as like a collection of parts. And so one of the things you can ask is whatever part is like acting out and creating these patterns, you can then self-inquire to that part and ask it why like this part of me, maybe it's like an ache in my heart that makes me want to soothe it, or maybe it's kind of a reactive pattern from my childhood and my inner child is upset. So you could ask yourself, hey, this part of me that feels hurt, that's acting out, that has this addictive pattern, why are you doing this? How can I help you? You can even like name it, like, oh, what does this part of me look like? And maybe it's like a crying inner child or whatever. Maybe it's like an upset parent or something. And then you can inquire with that part and ask it like, hey, how can I soothe you? How can I help you? How can I get to know you better? And by doing this kind of parts work, you can then get the answer from that part, but then provide the part with that answer and help it soothe and heal and transform. That's a really powerful way of going about it. There's other things like you can bring up the perspectives and provide counter perspectives and reframe, and that can be a really powerful approach. And I've made other videos on that. And you can also just come to a place of inner peace and shift into alignment. And when we're in more of a place of peace and alignment, we can have a temporary distance from that addiction, that pattern, whatever it is. And from there, we can check in with our inner guidance, our access to infinite intelligence, of the most effective way to relieve it for ourselves. So there's a few different tools for approaching it. I got other videos on the inner guidance thing too, even a mini book I made on the topic. And so my name's Kent Peterson. I love to help you out and have transformational experiences so you can live the life you desire and dream of with ease and flow, and master the art of being yourself so you get your desires as a natural byproduct of who you are. So if you want any help with that, check out the links in my bio, description, whatever. It depends where you're watching this. Send me an email or a DM. Join one of my coaching programs or coaching calls. I got a new one coming up soon that'll be really great. I'd love to help you have transformational experiences.